Hello, everyone. I'm Christina. Boy, as usual, do we have a lot to talk about? And I'm afraid the video might buffer a little bit. We're having some rainy weather, and I also know that I didn't exactly announce this ahead of time, but that's okay. We have instant replay, and see one person is on. I'm hoping everybody gets notified. Good. Hello, Rogue Christian. You made it. Yay. All right. Okay. 3 people. So, okay. This is going good. Hello, Trent IDK. Good. All right. Now, you might have noticed the title of this video, which is They Don't Want to Give Our Freedoms Back and Dark Winter. So, I know that doesn't sound very encouraging, but, not everything is great news, but it is good to be aware and be informed. All right. Hello, TJ Antipas from New Zealand. I'm so glad to be reaching around to the other side of the world. All right, let's get a little into this. Let me find where I put my notes. There's so many. I'm hoping everyone's Thanksgiving went well. All right. We're going to jump right into it. Supreme Court blocks COVID-19 restrictions at houses of worship. I don't know about you, but it's about time. We can do everything else as far as protesting and other related things. The White House can have indoor dinners while, restaurants have to have inside places to eat. It's kind of like outside, but a little bit of covering. But the churches, had a lot of restrictions. And the Supreme Court is blocking those restrictions. And for Thanksgiving, I heard that somebody in California was threatening to shut off the power. I couldn't believe that one. I mean, that's kind of a health risk right there, if you're so worried about everybody's health, right? For Thanksgiving, 50 million people in America could face hunger this year. That's what they tell us. That's the news after showing us all these long food lines. But let's get back to what we were talking about. And because of this COVID thing, the CV, I should just probably call it, I've noticed that there are 37,000 fewer students enrolled in Boston, Massachusetts. And it looks like that's kind of a trend across the United States. It's hard to get how many actual numbers of people that have transitioned, but there are a couple of articles that let you know kind of that it's actually bigger than we think. One article is titled Interest in Homeschooling Has Exploded Among the Pandemic. So you see that it is a related step. And we were homeschooling here anyway, but we have noticed an increase in a lot of former public school teachers also are now homeschool teachers. And it's pretty cool because you can actually see them holding their babies while they're teaching class. It's really actually neat, to be honest with you. But the article, let me see here. Yes. This article came out August 12th, 2020. As parents nationwide prepare to help their children with more distance learning, that's a term I haven't heard yet. A small but quickly growing number are deciding to take matters entirely into their own hands and begin homeschooling. Some are worried that their districts are unable to offer a strong virtual learning program. For others who may have been considering homeschooling, concerns for their family health amid the CV and the on-again, off-again planning for in-person instruction are leading them to part ways with school systems. Okay. But, it also talks about how you have to wear your mask for the entire day. That can be dangerous. I've even heard of little kids having to run track with masks on. That's very, very dangerous. When I started homeschooling my children, I had a lot of parents tell me, your kids should, at least have a chance to socialize. And I was like, what makes you think my kids don't socialize, first of all? And what makes you think that I'm going to have them miss the socializing they do up there? But I mean, that was my least concern. It was the illnesses my kids kept getting. It was the food that they were eating. It was the lice that they would come home with, just whatever. I mean, it was a petri dish up there. Okay. And it's just being used as a propaganda tool. Another article is entitled Texas Homeschool Coalition 400% increase in parents withdrawing students from public schools, September 15th, 2020. The Center Square, the Texas Homeschool Coalition, has seen a nearly 400% increase in parents withdrawing their children from public schools in the last 6 months compared to last year. In August 2019, THSC reports that it processed withdrawals for 1,044 families. In August 2020, they processed 4,055 withdrawals. The July increase was a 1,500% increase from July 2019. So the numbers, I guess they can't give us an exact number, but I bet this is a trend that isn't going to stop. Okay, we're going to check what's going on in the comments. Happy late Thanksgiving. We had a quiet one here at my house. We had a wonderful turkey. We're still eating on it. It's great. Okay, yeah, we're going to show that Watchmen. I don't know why they flagged that one. Okay. Yeah, I believe that they did. They've weakened it in so many ways, and they've weakened our minds too. They don't call those television programs for nothing, and I think that people are starting to realize that more and more. Scott, what are you talking about? Skyrocket the number? I believe so too. Well, in order to get vaccinated, they have to give you the virus, right? Hello, AA Strumming. Very good to see you. So glad. Okay. All right, let's get back to my notes. Okay. I'm hoping everyone's Thanksgiving went well, but the question does come up, how many of us are actually going to be able to afford Christmas this year? And I don't think we will actually be able to in this house, but I do know that we're very grateful to be together, and we're thankful for what we do have. And, Christmas is really all about the worship of God and the ability to be thankful and for his son, the Messiah Christ, to celebrate that gift. That's what it's all about. So if you have nothing else, if you got Christ, then you're fine. You're never really alone. All right. AstraZeneca is coming out with a new CV vaccine. It turned out that a dosing error has caused setbacks and needs for more study. And what had happened was that they were getting a decent effective rate and realized that they were only giving the patients half of the dose that they were supposed to be giving them when they tried to give them the correct dose, that the effective rate of effectiveness went down. So that's why. But, it does make you wonder. I mean, I know as a ex-pharmacy technician that we had to dose according to like age and weight and height. But I also know that babies do get vaccines, and some of them they don't at first. I'm just wondering, is there an age limit on that? That question was brought up. So I checked out Google, and it said vaccine doses should not be administered at intervals less than these minimum intervals or at an age that is younger than the minimum age. So whatever it is they require for each drug, it can be different. The way that they administer the medication can be different for each drug and each age. Doses administered too close together or at too young an age can lead to suboptimal, meaning not so great immune response, and will be considered invalid. And that goes back to, if you think about the flu vaccine, they give you that vaccine, they try to give it to you every year. And what it does is it replaces your immune system there. So the next year when you get around the virus, you're way, way sicker. Okay. In a lot of cases, these vaccines give you the flu. And so basically what they want to do is they want to inject you with the virus in order to vaccinate you. But guess what? They want to do it every year. Okay. Every year, like the flu shot. That's the way they're talking. So that means that if you miss it in the next year, does that mean that you're you're absolutely having some problems here? Are you guaranteed to die if you don't take it the second time? Because you have absolutely no shot at fighting it. Nobody told me before, I don't know about you, but nobody said before, oh, you need to have this every year. It was, oh, you just get a couple of doses, or maybe we can get it in one shot. Now it's every year. Is what we're starting to hear through the news grapevine. You got to listen for those little things that they say. Okay. And Trump announces that the first round of the vaccine could be delivered next week. Global Transport Body developing Travel Pass app to link proof of vaccination to passports. Okay, so not only are they delivering it next week, which is the beginning, or they're trying to start delivering at the beginning of December, they're already working on an app so that if you want to travel from country to country, you have to give proof of your vaccination now. Okay, so this is a global thing. The app will be tested by airlines all over the world, and they're talking digital ID, no jab, no travel. In the future, yeah. So in the future, you will need to be vaccinated, and they are treating the healthy like they're sick. Okay. And to make matters worse, just a thought that I want to bring up. There was some guy talking about an article in Europe that Alexa is going to aid in crime, right? Like if a murder's taken place or something, right? And that the police they're just going to use your camera. They'll give it back kind of thing. But, we're all like, yeah, right. But wouldn't it be something if Alexa would be in on reporting people that haven't had the vaccine, or how, it makes me wonder if they could use that also, I mean, it's not enough that we've already got Predator drones in most major cities. And if you don't believe me, there was an article that came out June 3rd, 2020, titled "The Government is Regularly Flying Predator Drones Over American Cities," quote unquote. Okay. U.S. Customs and Border Protection is regularly flying Predator drones, powerful surveillance aircraft more commonly associated with hunting targets overseas, above American cities for surveillance. This includes cities farther than 100 miles from the border, according to recent flight data. All right. So how long until this technology, like Terminator, turns on us? Okay. Oh, good. We got 5 likes. Don't forget to hit like, and don't forget to share the videos if you think it's worth it, because I don't get a lot of help from the actual platform that I bounce video off of. But thank you for those thumbs up. It's awesome. Thank you very, very much. Also, this guy I was listening to, he said that if you're having trouble getting notified when I put a video out, try unsubscribing and resubscribing and hitting that bell. Like unsubscribe, resubscribe, and then hit the bell, and that might take care of some of it. Okay, we're talking about lawsuits in the chat of the Kraken, colloidal silver. Y'all got a good chat going on. Okay, is there anybody who is interested in being a moderator? Please let me know. That'd be awesome. Okay, we're going to get back to what's going on here. Okay, yesterday we witnessed on the news for Thanksgiving that there were several food lines across the nation. Georgia and New York were talked about a lot, but it literally was across the nation. And how there was a lot of talk about how the donations are going down while the need is going up. That's going to lead to a lot of desperation, which is sad because, again, we're already under so much stress that it could lead to crimes and even suicide, which it appears that it is going up despite the lack of official reporting. I even looked this up, and the official numbers really stopped at 2018. I stopped looking after like 5 minutes because I don't know, I guess I have attention issues, but it wasn't an easy thing to say, okay, what were the numbers back in 2019? What are the numbers looking like this year? But you can look in other places and see that the suicides are going up, okay? The food line, along with the food lines, all right? In fact, an elderly woman euthanized herself over fears of loneliness, okay? I told you the elderly are already lonely enough. She euthanized herself over fears of loneliness. But the CV suicides are out there. They're out there. And considering that the stress is up, period, it's going to affect one's reasons why they would do something like that. So we really need to pay attention to people. Ask them if they're okay. Okay? Don't let this social distancing take away our humanity. All right? And in the meantime, the big news today is Black Market Friday, which in a lot of cases ends up being blood money because people are killing each other for it. And what are y'all getting out there anyway that you need so badly? You know, I know that times are hard, but that's a scary situation to get into, you know, for stuff. I hope you're going in there for things that you need instead of impulse buying. And, you know that not everything that glitters is gold, okay? I do wonder, though, how well this is going, though, on Black Friday with so many out of a job, possibly out of their homes, and these food lines building. Maybe they're trying to fill their void with things. But suicide isn't the only thing we have to worry about stress-wise. We have to talk about abusive relationships, and relationships don't always have to be romantic. But I want you to just keep in mind a simile of how you feel about our government and how it's going and how the world government is treating us when you look at these signs that there is no love in a relationship and that it's abusive, okay? And I'm saying not just with your partners, but look at the relationship with how the people are feeling with the government right now. It might be interesting to hear. There is a lack of love. Try to talk. He changes subject and looks bored. They're not available for you. They don't support your personal growth. They hurt your dignity. They disrespect you. They insult you and devalue you as a person. Your independence is threatened. They are abusive. They're not afraid to leave you at the first complaint. Does not take into account your opinion. Words are cheap. Don't feel completely loved. Sometimes disappears. Doesn't answer the phone. Constant stress and bickering. Overly jealous. We don't get each other. Your feelings are dismissed. They're controlling. They're like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Boundaries are violated. Immature behavior. They're bent out of shape where others would not be. They're explosive. They go on unrelated tangents. They're always accusing you. Disaster is always looming, and they try to isolate you. These are some of the actual signs of a person that A, does not love you, and B, is abusive. Does that sound like the kind of treatment that we're getting as Americans anyway? It's like we are being groomed to be abused and to just take it and to feel like we don't matter. So in order to avoid loneliness, this person euthanized herself. That's one example. But hey, don't worry about that because today's Black Friday and there's bunches of stuff to buy. Okay? In other news, we have what looks like to be a sign in the sky. And if I'm not mistaken, they're saying something about the star of Bethlehem kind of bright or something. But Jupiter and Saturn are due to make one big looking star in our near future, which to me would tell me that in all of this hardship that we're going through, that there is still hope, and that is in Jesus Christ. And it always was. God is always still working. He has a plan for your life and for my life. And we've got to go till we can't go anymore. We don't take our own life. I want you to be brave. And always remember what we were doing yesterday, thinking about what we were thankful for. All right. And this also brings up a unique situation that I believe Dana Coverstone was hinting to not long ago. One, will we have Christmas this year? And two, that a lot of false prophets would be exposed. He said prosperity prophets, but I don't think it would end there. I think that since there was a lot of people that had something to say one way or the other about how this election would go, that right there, we're about to see what's going on with some of these people. We'll be able to eyeball them and see that they might be false teachers or false prophets. Okay. Sid Roth had a few things to say about it. He said, it's not over till the fat lady sings, believes that Trump won and will still win. His opinion, however, it will go to the Supreme Court. If we're all wrong, that doesn't destroy my faith in God. Well, that's good. It shouldn't destroy your faith in God, but we should discern the spirits. We are taught to do that. We stand in faith, but we test the spirit. All right. What I'm thinking is we need to look forward to a revival. We need to do that. All right. Let's go ahead and check out chat real quick. Better late than never. Not in you, faithful. Good sir. Okay. I'm a late prepper, but getting there. Hey, yeah, I get it now. On a mission, better late than never. You're absolutely right about that. We've got a lot going on. In December and January, things might get to crunch time. Okay. Meaning as those vaccines start arriving, that 42% that we know of that America is supposed to be against it, I will not comply. We're going to see how well that actually goes over. And I'm hoping that we still have some kind of backbone, because my house is not taking that vaccine. We're prepared. We're just not doing it. We know that it could cost us everything the world has to give us, but we have our priorities in order here. Okay. I also want to encourage everyone to take a look at some of my past videos, and you might find some interesting topics that you might take an interest in. All right. Don't just stop at this video, this live stream. Go ahead and take a look at some of the things that I've been saying, because a lot of the things I said in the past are coming true now. But there were other things. All right. Oh, do you want to be a moderator, Watchman? I'll let you be my moderator. Okay. You're so ready to go. I know. I haven't really been comfortable since I was born in this place, but I know I'm here for a reason. You know, this is our story that we go back home with. You know, we should be concerned about going home, but we should also, you know, think about how we go home. You know, what kind of story? How did it really end? You know, I don't know. I think my ending is going to be an awesome one. I just got a feeling about it. Modem, the Watchman. All right. The vote is in. Add moderator. Congratulations, the Watchman. Nuclear blast. Yeah, one way or another, if we're in the last days, none of us are really guaranteed a whole lot of time. So while we're here, I don't know about you, but I'm going to make the most for the kingdom of God. I'm going to go out with a real bang. It's called the word. What? Watchmen, oh gosh, you are so supportive. I love that. That's great. Okay, that's good. All right. And I haven't seen Off-Grid Desert Farming over here the last couple videos, but I want to give them a shout out, as well as Grim Survival. He's been doing really well. He's getting really deep in with the prepper community, which I love, and his live streams are awesome, and Off-Grid on point all the time. I just get a little busy, so I can't always moderate for them, but I'm always trying to make it. Most of the time I think I do. Did somebody say, are you describing my life? I just want to say that it can be describing your government, your brother, your boss, your sister, your wife, But, I think in any relationship, there's always going to be a certain amount of tension and working things out. But if you're finding that there's constant bickering and you don't really, really get along, then there's a sign, So, I mean, that's really something that you would want to look into, more into that on a romantic level. But I'm thinking more in terms of how things are going worldwide, and government, I feel that there's an abuse of power raging, and we're just being tagged like cattle and tracked and, whipped into shape and told where we needed to be herded into. I don't like that. I don't know how long my channel is going to last, even since, especially since they don't put any notifications out anyway. Anna was there and saw it. Okay. Hi, Robert Garrett. I'm going to have to thank Grim Survival. Yeah, Grim Survival is a channel that I'm good friends with and so definitely. I love to see that y'all came over. I just love it. It's been wonderful. Let me just make sure that we don't have anything else to talk about this time. Oh, how could I forget this one little thing with Dark Winter, because that was part of the title, wasn't it? Someone pointed out to me that, Joe Biden had said, and I quote, "Prepare for a dark winter." Well, there was June 22nd to June 23rd, 2001, a simulation conducted called Operation Dark Winter. Operation Dark Winter was the code name for a senior level bioterrorist attack simulation that was conducted. It was designed to carry out a mock version of a covert and widespread smallpox attack. They could do it for any imminent, molecular virus, they want to. They could call it smallpox, but that's what they called it on the United States. Okay, so now the overview. The objective, Dark Winter, was focused on evaluating the inadequacies of a national emergency response during the use of a biological weapon against the American populace. The exercise was intended to establish preventative measures and response strategies by increasing governmental and public awareness of the magnitude and potential of such a threat posed by biological weapons. The scenario. And I'm looking at Wikipedia for this. Okay, so I didn't get it out of some top secret file, Dark Winter's simulated scenario involved an initial localized smallpox attack on Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with additional smallpox attack cases in Georgia and Pennsylvania. The simulation was then designed to spiral out of control. This would create a contingency in which the National Security Council struggles to determine both the origin of the attack as well as deal with containing the spreading virus. Does any of this sound familiar? By not being able to keep pace with the disease's rate of spread, a new catastrophic contingency emerges in which massive civilian casualties would overwhelm America's emergency response capabilities. This was from 2001, y'all. It's like today's headline news. I'm sure it's a coincidence, right? It's a coincidence, right? The disastrous contingencies that would result in the massive loss of civilian life were used to exploit the weaknesses of the U.S. healthcare infrastructure and its inability to handle such a threat. Hold the phone. The contingencies were also meant to address the widespread panic that would emerge and which would result in mass social breakdown and mob violence. Exploits would also include the many difficulties that the media would face when providing American citizens with the necessary information regarding safety procedures. Oh, we're learning all kinds about procedures. Discussing the outcome of Dark Winter, Brian Walsh noted the timing just a few months before the 9/11 attack. That's right, it was eerily prescient, as if the organizers had foreseen how the threat of terrorism, including bioterrorism, would come to consume the United States government and public in the years to come. Summary of the findings. According to UPMC Center for Health Security, Dark Winter outlined several key findings with respect to the United States healthcare system's ability to respond to a localized bioterrorism event. Yeah, I know how they're going to respond to it. It's called the guillotines they bought not so long ago. Okay, but the key findings were as follows. Now you can read the paragraphs underneath these bullet points, and I'm just going to read the bullets. Okay, it says an attack on the United States with biological weapons could threaten vital national security interests. Current organizational structures and capabilities are not well suited for the management of a biowarfare attack. There is no surge capability in the U.S. healthcare and public health systems, meaning the healthcare systems are not capable of a surge. At least back then. It doesn't look like they really are now either. Or in the pharmaceutical and vaccine industries. Do you hear that? Vaccine industries. Now, of course, until you figure out which little booger you're going to let out into society, you can't make the vaccine. But we aren't so sure, are we? I mean, but we're getting the strain. Maybe that was it. They had to wait for the strain, and this thing is going to mutate. So what happens when they give you a vaccine for one strain, but you can still get one of five other kinds? Does that protect you from the other ones? Yeah, no. And it looks like it's not a lifetime thing, where, you take your polio shot and you never get polio. No, you have to take it every year. Dealing with the media will be a major immediate challenge for all levels of government. Should a contagious bioweapon pathogen be used containing the spread of disease will present significant ethical, political, cultural, operational, and legal challenges, which it has. That's Wikipedia. And that is what Joe Biden said. So here's my point on that one. Doesn't matter if we've got Trump on this issue or Biden. Both of them are ready to push forward with vaccinating us and handcuffing us in what I consider to be a freedom's tug of war. And it's very, very serious because they're threatening jobs already. I mean, the hints are already going out there. They're threatening your ability to travel. I mean, if you really think that it's going to just be from in an international thing, no, it's not. It's going to be checkpoints from state to state and eventually cities to city. I mean, like, what was it? New York City had some checkpoints going on recently just for the Thanksgiving thing. They'll cut your power off in California. That sounds crazy. I mean, you think about people that could be on respirators, life-saving medical equipment. He just turns it off, because he's worried about the health and public safety, right? Because he's so concerned. They don't care about you. They don't care about any of us. We're a bunch of guinea pigs. We're a bunch of slaves to them. We are deplorables, remember? See, that's what an abusive relationship is all about. Is it's charming on the surface, but underneath is nothing but a nightmare. Devil's gifts ain't free, baby. And all they're giving you is handouts. And trust me, it's going to turn into crumbs. Now, I know there's still some self-respect in us somewhere. There's still something in us that lets us know that this is wrong. That's something, and I think we'll know that critical moment when it happens, but it starts by being informed. So do share these videos. Do talk about this. All right. All right. Yep. I don't know about that. I think I've been doing just fine without the vaccine all this time. And I don't expect that I'm going to live forever. I didn't seek out to be a vampire. You know, when Lord takes me, the Lord takes me. Good night. You know, maybe we can just have some faith. I mean, just for me, you know, when it's my time's up, my time's up. Protect me. See, that's what I remember hearing when I was a kid in church. That they would start taking your freedoms away because it was for your own good. But it was all a rouse. It was all a lie. They were just putting their hands around our necks. That's what they were doing, and just handcuffing us. Don't buy that. All right. Don't let people just stick things in you that you don't know what they are. Anyway, y'all, I really do hope that y'all had a good Thanksgiving. I'm going to take one last look to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Nope, we did good. All right. Yep. We did everything. And I just want to thank everyone that was here today. And just stay strong. And it won't be long. I'll be talking to you possibly on Sunday or Monday. Okay. God bless you guys. Bye.